our world.
Hi, how's it going? Not so good, but this is stuff outside of culture, so for me, I'm happy to get into this.
That's alright, we'll talk about that another time. Football-wise, happy?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was an exciting round, wasn't it? For me, I'll never reveal who the team I support is on the pod. You know, both of us, we're very neutral anyway about how we talk about Serie. When it's our own clubs, we're not biased like many people can be. But yeah, with all that aside, great round, I think. Some teams will feel sad, of course, but yeah, we saw some surprises, didn't we? I thought it was a good kick-off after a long break.
Yeah, there was quite a few surprises, including even in the games that ended up being like draws and stuff. There was a load of the so-called smaller teams taking the lead, some much more than others. I mean, do you want me to go through the results and then if there's anything you want to talk about?
Please.
Okay, to begin with was Genoa-Inter, which ended up being 2-2. Parma-Fiorentina was 1-1. Milan-Torino 2-2. Empoli vs Monza 0-0. Verona smashed Napoli 3-0. Bologna drew 1-1 with Udinese. Cagliari-Roma 0-0, but it wasn't a 0-0. There should have been many goals in that, but that's another matter. And then Lazio beating Venezia 3-1. Atalanta destroying Lecce 4-0. And then Juve smacking Como 3-0 as well.
Yeah, so that was the round. Which was your favourite game out of all of those?
It's a difficult one. There were so many. I mean, you've got obviously Genoa caused a bit of an upset because they were expecting to lose against Inter. Parma taking the lead against Fiorentina, even if that ended up drawing. Milan coming from 2-0 down and then getting 2-2 draw. Obviously Verona is probably one of the standouts, being they were playing Napoli, but it seems like Napoli were just carrying on from last season, so they were losing 3-0. Venezia took the lead, but Lazio showed them how to play in the end. But I think you've got to give Atalanta and Juve the biggest results out of it, not including Verona, of course, but out of the other teams, Atalanta and Juve winning 4-0 and 3-0 respectively was probably the big games of the weekend in the end.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I liked the Inter game. I liked the Milan game. That sort of attempt at a comeback. You know, at least they drew. But there was that, and then lastly, if I had to pick from the Verona, Juve, and Atalanta wins. I mean, of course, Verona because it's like a surprising underdog. For me, though, it was the Atalanta game. It was great to see that they're still playing, and the two players scoring 2 on their debut, right?
Yeah.
I like that too. So it shows that things are moving in the right direction.
Retegui.
Yeah. So Retegui, for those of us that are Italy fans, it's great to see that he's doing it. Let's hope it translates in. Is it the 6th or the 8th of September?
It's after the third fixture, so it won't be the one coming up. Yeah.
It's against France, right? Is that the first game?
You put me on a spot there. I've not looked that far ahead.
We need to be the experts on this stuff.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to be, but I've not really looked. And
we'll put it up anyway way before it happens. So.
Yeah, of course. It's just that obviously since the end of last season, there's not been much to be excited about in Italy, and not really one of those giving excitement at the moment to know what the hell they're doing, really. But obviously, once they kick back in, we'll see how they're doing. And yeah, as you say, Retegui, I'm hoping he's going to be consistent this season. He's at a arguably bigger club now, which should be more attacking, giving more opportunities for him to score. and hopefully be consistent enough to bring that to the Italy team as well on a regular basis. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see on that.
I liked it. I like to see it, but one thing I forgot to mention, because Skamaka's injured, right?
Yeah.
And how long is he out for again?
I'm not sure exactly, but it's quite a while. It's going to be a long injury. They've got quite a few players out, including like Scalvini and stuff like that.
He probably saw that game and was he's probably gutted, right? He could be part of that, that resurgent.
I mean,
Atalanta.
If you look at it, once he comes back, they've got the two Italian strikers up front. So we'll see if he gets in, or if they're playing together, or what they're going to do. But yeah, so I mean, that was that week. The first week has kicked off. It's good to finally see it back. This weekend coming, we've got on Saturday. There's Udinese, Lazio, and Parma Milan at 5:30. And then for the evening games on that day, Monza, Genoa, Inter Lecce. And then on the Sunday, again, this is all just packed up at the moment. At 5:30, there's Torino, Atalanta, Fiorentina, Venezia. And then at 7:45, Napoli, Bologna, Roma, Empoli. And then on the Monday, Cagliari, Como, 5:30. And then it finishes off with Verona, Juve, 7:45. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if Napoli-Bologna would have been. It's one of those games you'd think, oh, last season that would have been really good to watch. Is it going to be this season now? And Napoli going to carry on from last season like they've just got smacked, or are they actually going to bounce back? And then Bologna, they're out to try and prove that it wasn't one season fluke type thing. So.
But they've just lost. Is it Cambiaghi, right? He's got the ACL tear.
Well,
he's out for, they say, 6 months, which is crazy because I think there's a pattern for quite a few young Italians, right? It's just been kicking them, this ACL. I swear, how many of that? There's been a few now, right?
There's been quite a few injuries all over, yeah. All over.
This ACL, it's crazy. So yeah, they're without him for six months, I think.
I mean, I think at the moment, out of all of them, it's, as I said, Atalanta and Juve stand out for me at the moment. Juve, even though they weren't to a level where you thought like they were completely dominant and like all over the place and hundreds of chances or anything like that, but they still look strong, and even their kids that they've got, including their Mbanglu, who's had his debut and scored. It's looking bright for Juve, and obviously with Motta in charge, I think they're going to be one of those dangerous ones this season to look out for.
Yeah, that is. I'm looking forward to seeing many of their games. By the way, speaking of Roma, did you see the latest on Dybala?
I think the last I saw was because it was on and off for a while, but now apparently it's accepted, isn't it? And looks like he's going to the old Saudi.
Yeah. It looks like a €75 million contract over 3 years, and 3 million transfer fee to Roma. But if he goes, that's a big loss. It's a massive loss because we saw, didn't we, when we said it? I think last time. Whenever this guy plays and scores, I know he's injured a lot, or he'll be instrumental in the game. So, yeah, they'll miss him. They absolutely will.
We'll see if they replace him. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I think they want Chiesa as well to replace him. Originally it was they got Sule after Chiesa fell through, but I think if Dybala goes, which looks like it, maybe they'll look at Chiesa again or someone else to fill that role.
And on Cassano watch, he was asked to say a Scudetto winner and make the pick based on what we've seen. He replied that if he talks, he says, if I talk now, all hell will break loose.
Well,
he did anyway. So welcome to hell. He says Inter, Roma, Atalanta, Napoli. and he said he's going to die with his ideas, but he says that Juve and Milan are out of the top four. If anyone out there is still interested in hearing about Cassano's opinions.
Well, I'm not one of them, because it's literally, he says things just so that they can go viral and be controversial. Whether he believes them or not, I don't know, and to be honest, I don't care, because most of it is just trying to cause a fuss, because I think I remember him also saying that Serie A is a poor league and all this stuff. And if he thinks that, why is he making money off it by commenting on it? Do you know what I mean? Like, go watch the Prem or La Liga or something else and comment on that, because that's how it is. I really like this league. I like all the teams, and I like watching it like from top to bottom. How the games play out and everything. I think it's the most entertaining there is out of all the leagues. That's my opinion, and he can have his, but I don't want to hear rubbish about Serie A when that's where you're making your money from as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he does. He does say a lot of silly things, doesn't he? I mean, I think everyone gave up paying it any serious attention. From time to time, it's funny to see what he's going to say. I mean, yeah, him saying Juve and Milan out of that top four, I don't agree. I did say, didn't I, last week that both of them were in my top four.
Well, and it's in his top five now anyway, so I don't know why you're picking four. So.
Yeah. You see, I think many people are just used to it. It's been like this for so many years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There was another thing. So, did you see Spalletti announce the squad? Or he's just about to announce the Italy squad, and they're saying that early reports say that Locatelli's in there, and 4 players from Euro 24 will be dropped.
Okay.
Let's stay tuned for that.
But I mean, like, we obviously know one of them, for being Scamacca, is injured anyway, so that's already one out. I don't know, without looking or thinking about it too much, I don't know who he's changing and who he's not, but I think. Well, as I say, he should be looking at who's playing well and who's doing what, and it's a bit early to be doing that, unfortunately, now at the moment. But I mean, can he say any of those played well in the Euros to deserve their place? I don't know. I think it should be starting from scratch, really.
Yeah.
You there?
Still there, yeah. Lots of noise and activity where I am.
No worries. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
I think we're clear. I mean, yeah, just out of that list of games that are coming up this week,
yeah.
Which is your pick? Which do you think will be the most exciting, interesting game?
Well, I mean, as I was just saying about Serie A, I just find them all interesting anyway. Like, there's no one where I just think. You
can't pick one.
No. I mean, there's not one I would just think, right, I wouldn't bother. Do you know what I mean? Like, but let's see. I mean, it's gonna. I want to see what Verona do against Juve. I reckon after beating Napoli, are they going to show that was a one-off thing, or are they going to? If they could beat Juve, then people will be looking at them a bit more, won't they?
Yeah.
So that'll be the last game of the whole thing.
That's the one I thought when you listed those fixtures. I have to admit I didn't look at them before hearing you. So I only knew one of them. One of the days is my birthday. I won't say which day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was interested in that. But yeah, Verona Juve, for me, that's going to be interesting. Just only based on what happened in week 1.
Yeah.
So that's all. But yeah, I do have one last thing, because we were talking about Lookman, and sadly he might go.
Well, I just moments before we came on, I saw something saying that looks like it's falling through. So
that's what I was just about to say the same thing. So I saw that. It says that the interest is cooled on PSG's side. So I think that we will see him at Serie. Hopefully we'll see him play. now.
Yeah,
Because
well, that's
he's
it.
been sort of training alone, and wasn't in the first game.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't need him either in the end. So,
Right.
and if he was available, I don't think Retegui would have been playing or starting, shall I say? So that could have been a completely different thing. But again, you don't know. He could have scored two himself. So it'd be interesting to see if he's going to stay for definite and if he plays. It's the same for Napoli and Osimhen. I'm hoping he stays. Considering everything's going on, it seems a bit ridiculous. But I think if he does stay and they integrate him back into the squad, I think it will make Napoli more dangerous for the rest of the season, especially with the way Conte can get the best out of his strikers.
Exactly, and the only way is up to them, right?
Well, we have to see. Because if Bologna beat them, it's going to look dark days already for Conte, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, he's got a lot of fodder for excuses, I have to say. He's blaming the shirt, he's blaming money, Osimhen transfer being blocked. So that should be enough for him for the next few months, I think, if he continues this way. But we all know De Laurentiis and how trigger happy he is. So I would advise he backs his ideas up ASAP. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, it's just the usual football excuses anyway. I mean, how can they complain? Napoli have got a certain budget, a certain amount of talent in their squad, which most of them, like a lot of them, won the league. So it's not like all of a sudden they lost their talent. Do you know what I mean? And and plus there's much smaller teams who don't have the budget and the means to have so much talent in their squad. So he knew what he was getting into before he goes there, and you know what he's like. He must have made a load of demands before he joined as well. So I don't like hearing excuses from footballers and football managers and stuff like that. At the end of the day, they're in that profession. They get paid a lot for it. And they should be thankful that they're in that position in the first place.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of Conte's grumbling is always, it's like Mourinho-esque, deflecting from the team, deflecting from the crap performances. I think that's what a lot of it is, and hopefully the players don't take it to heart, which will serve them well. Yeah. I also just saw Inter close to securing. I think it's all been signed. He's just got to fly over. The youngster from Argentina, Thiago Palacios.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know much about him. He plays in the Primera division. He plays for Talaves. Yeah. So he's a centre back. 21 years old. I'm guessing he's going to be in the youth, maybe in the youth setup. Or what do you think?
Who knows if he comes and Inzaghi reckons he's good enough, he'll put him in the squad, won't he? So.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the Argentina youth squad, the under-20s squad. He's played about 5 games, I can see. But nothing stand out. Interested to see what happens there when he does arrive in Milan.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's plenty more transfers, ins and outs still to go. So we'll find out what happens by the time we talk next week.
Yeah, all good.
Cool. All right, well, enjoy your birthday weekend, and I'll speak to you about the other stuff as well.
Cheers.
All right, I'll speak to you in a bit.
See you, bye.
Bye.